Hello, my name is Mariela Osorio, and I am the Career and Small Business Specialist at the Long Branch Free Public Library. We've partnered with Google to bring you relevant and important information you can use. Today's segment focuses on how to protect yourself from online scams. In this session, we will show you how to understand what online scams are, identify scam warning signs, and learn best practices for keeping information safe. Let's start by defining the word scam. A scam is a deliberate attempt to cheat someone out of money or personal information. Scams are nothing new. People have been finding ways to take advantage of others for a very long time. But the rise of the internet and social media has now made it easier. Since you can communicate with just about anyone online, people who want to commit scams, known as scammers, can use the internet to quickly and easily find and contact anyone with an online presence. Scammers can work anonymously by building websites, email addresses, or fake social media profiles, which can make it difficult or impossible to track them down. The goal of this workshop isn't to make you distrustful of people you meet online. One of the great things about the internet is the way it allows us to connect with others. Still, it's important to know how to spot potential scams so you can keep yourself and your personal information safe. Now that we know what scams are, let's talk a bit about what scammers want from the people they contact on the internet. Scammers are generally looking for two things: money and personal information. The money that scammers are looking for can come in various forms, including bank payments, wire transfers, credit or debit card payments, or even gift cards. They may try to get personal information that can help them access your bank accounts, social media accounts, or other personal accounts online. This information includes usernames and passwords for websites and social media accounts, your social security number, and bank account information. They can then use this information to steal your identity, contact your friends and family, or gain access to your accounts and even your devices. Scammers can also make money by selling your personal information to a third party. The third party can then use your personal information for their own purposes. There are also types of personal information that may seem less confidential than passwords, but are still important to keep private for the sake of your online security. If you log into an online bank account for extra security, you might be asked questions like, "What's your mother's maiden name?" or "What is the name of your first pet?" These security questions are designed to be easy for you to remember and hard for someone else to guess. Be wary of anyone online who tries to get that type of information from you. If you use social media, you've likely come across quizzes that claim to figure out things about your personality. Or maybe you've been asked to answer questions like, "What would your name be if you were a character in a popular TV show?" These seemingly harmless quizzes are often scams designed to get the answers to those for those hard to guess security questions protecting your online accounts. Avoid participating in online quizzes that encourage you to share this kind of information. The good news is that you can outsmart scammers by learning the signs of a potential scam and by always protecting your personal information online. We'll spend the rest of the workshop discussing some frequently attempted scams so you will know how to recognize them and protect yourself. Now let's take a look at a few different examples of scams you might encounter online. I'm going to read this out loud just so that you get an idea of what a scam might look like. Now, this example was designed to look similar to an email that could come from a bank. It starts off with the name of the bank, and it says, "Dear Joe, your Citibank account has been compromised. Secure your account immediately by providing us with your login, ID, your password, and social security number. For your convenience, click on the link below to submit your information." Thank you for your cooperation, Big City Bank. Now, let's talk about some of the warning signs you may have spotted in this email. This email is an example of a type of scam called phishing. Phishing, spelled with a PH, is when a scammer impersonates a company or person in order to trick someone into giving up their valuable personal information. Usually, phishing takes place through emails, internet ads, or copies of websites that look similar to the ones you already use. For example, you could receive an email from your bank, a store where you shop, or an online payment processor, stating that there's a problem with your account and that they need your login information in order to fix it. Since this email states that you need to act immediately, it creates a sense of urgency to get you to send your information quickly. Urgency is a tool that scammers use a lot. They want you to respond right now. Other scams may use urgency by telling you that an offer is only available for a limited time, or someone is in need of immediate help. Urgency can also be used to make you feel excited or concerned so that you act on emotion. The real purpose of urgency in a scam is to get you to finish a transaction or send information before you stop to think it through or talk it over with anyone. If you think a situation is urgent, you are far more likely to send personal information or money than you would in an everyday situation. Scams often contain links or forms to fill out. There may also be attachments to open. Links can be used to collect information about you, upload dangerous material to your device, or email your contacts. Likewise, scammers use forms to collect your information. Some scams encourage people to open attachments, which can upload a virus or other harmful programming to your computer or device. If you're not sure whether something is a scam, do not click links, fill out any forms, or open attachments from the questionable source. It's always better to be cautious than to accidentally give away your personal information or put your device at risk. Legitimate businesses will never ask for your login information or other personal details through email. If a legitimate business needs you to log into your account, they will instruct you to open their website or app, sign in, and send information securely. If you receive a questionable email from a bank or other business where you have an account, you can call the business directly to ask about it. If you need to visit the business's website, type their web address into your browser or search for it online, rather than clicking any link provided in a suspicious communication. Scammers may also use threats or a threatening tone to get money or information. Threats can scare people into giving their personal information or a payment before they realize they're being scammed. Threats can make people think they will lose something important, like housing or access to their computers. People can also be threatened with humiliation. For example, scammers might send an email claiming they have hacked your device and have embarrassing footage of you. Sometimes they will include an old password in an email to prove that they are serious. Then they will demand that you send money in order to stop them from distributing the footage. If you receive a communication like this, it's best not to reply to the email or respond in any way. If you receive an email you suspect is a phishing, you have a couple of options. If you know it's a fake email, you can just ignore it. If the email claims to be from an organization you are involved with or someone you know, reach out to them directly. Do not respond to the email, but contact them using a known email address. Another good option is to call and speak to someone over the phone. Do not click on any links or open any attachments. And finally, if you know an email is phishing, you have the option of reporting it. The next slide will show you how to do that. If you have a Gmail account, You're going to follow these steps. First, open the phishing email. At the top right of the email, you'll see an icon that looks like 3 vertical dots. That's the More menu. Open the More menu by clicking it. Click Report Phishing. The image on the screen shows an open email from the State Housing Council with the title Urgent. The email contains a message asking the recipient for their Social Security number, full name, and address. The menu with the 3 vertical dots is open and the Report Phishing option is circled. If you use an email account from another provider, you can search online for information about how to report phishing from that account. Now, let's take a look at a new scam. Imagine that you come across this ad on a job site. I'm going to read it to you. $5,000 to $10,000 per day, work from home. Choose your own schedule. Make money as an undercover shopper. 15 hours a week, $80,000 plus bonuses. No interview necessary. Email awesomesecurityjob@gmail.com. So, after you read the posting, you decide to email the address listed. You hear back right away. Susan, the recruiter, says you'll be able to start right away after you pay for a training session. Employment scams often claim to offer jobs that seem too good to be true. They may state that they require a few hours and pay very well. Often, scammers will claim you'll be able to earn lots of money by doing something easy from home, like online shopping or playing video games. Or you may respond to a job posting you found on a website and find that the employer wants to hire you without an interview or background check. The scam may start as soon as you apply for the job, when scammers ask for your personal information to process the application. Or it might start after they claim to have hired you, when they ask for your bank information to process your payment. One sign of an employment scam is that if you are asked to pay for anything up front. You may be told that in order to start the job, you have to pay for training or pay fees for software, a credit report, or even to have your resume reviewed. Now, an honest employer will never ask you to pay any money or provide your credit card information in order to give you a job. Spotting employment scams can be difficult because legitimate employers may also ask for personal information. They usually require your Social Security number and may also ask your bank information if you decide to set up direct deposit. However, do not provide that information unless you are certain that the job is legitimate and not a scam. The saying, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is, applies here. Scammers often make offers that are too good to be true. This tactic works in the same way as creating a sense of urgency. You get excited so you don't stop to think about it before you act by providing personal information. The ad we looked at is offering a job with high pay that only requires 15 hours of work a week and no interview required. Scammers may offer you an opportunity to make a lot of money with almost no effort. They may pose as an enthusiastic recruiter offering you an amazing, easy, and profitable job. The fact that the recruiter asks for payment upfront is a red flag. No legitimate job should require you to pay for training or to complete a credit check in order to begin. You also should not be required to provide personal information, like your address, Social Security number, or bank account information, until you've been offered the job and can verify that the company and role are both legitimate and trustworthy. One possible sign of a scam is seeing words misspelled, which are also known as typos, in a job listing, email, or ad. If you notice a lot of grammar and spelling mistakes, a scammer may have created the contact that you're viewing. It is possible for legitimate communications from companies to contain mistakes or errors, but most will have someone proofread their work carefully, so this is not common. If you see a job advertised online that appears too good to be true, verify it with an internet search. Search for the name of the company, the job title, or even the name of the contact you've been in communication with. You can also type in the company name and the word scam into an internet search to see if others have experienced similar scams. Don't pay for any training or other job-associated costs ahead of time. And don't give away your personal information until you have managed to verify that the job is legitimate. To search a suspicious job offer or company, here are the steps you could take. Type google.com into your browser's address bar. Then press Enter on your keyboard. This will take you to Google's search page. On google.com, you can see the search bar in the center of the page. This is where you'll type your search into Google. Click on the search bar next to the magnifying glass and type the words you want to search for. After you type in your first search words, click Enter or Return on your keyboard. Search for the name of the company, the job title, and the word scam. If a company is legitimate, they should have a professional-looking website. If you are being scammed, you may find information about the scam online. Now, let's take a look at one more type of scam. You connect with a person on social media who seems like a great match. The relationship progresses quickly, as you have many common interests and experiences. You invite them out for a date several times, but they're never able to meet in person. You get to know each other through chatting and text. After a week or two, the person writes you an urgent message. They are having a medical emergency and need you to send them money to help pay their medical bills. Now, earlier in this workshop, we mentioned how online scammers often use people's emotions against them. This is particularly true of dating and romance scams. According to the Federal Trade Commission, Americans lost $304 million to romance scammers in 2020. That's up about 50% over 2019. Now, dating and romance scams can be initiated online through social media or on dating apps and websites. For their profile pictures, romance scammers often use photos they find online from actual dating profiles or stock photographs. Scam relationships tend to progress quickly without any face-to-face interaction. When someone asks to meet in person, a last-minute emergency will often arise to prevent that from happening, or the scammer will claim to live too far away to visit or have some other issue that keeps them from traveling. The scammer may then soon claim to have a financial emergency and ask you for a payment, gift cards, or some other form of financial assistance. If the scammer receives payment, the requests continue and increase over time. Take your time getting to know someone online before you get serious about a relationship. Insist on meeting in person safely and in public early in the relationship. Don't send them money, gift cards, or other forms of financial support. And listen to friends and family who express concerns about your online relationship. When you start talking to someone online, ask for more photos. If the person you're communicating with is a scammer, they may be using images they copied from someone else's social media accounts or somewhere else on the internet. To help prove that they are the person they claim to be, you can even ask them to take a picture with that day's newspaper or doing something specific, like touching their nose. This type of photo would be hard to fake or copy from the internet. If they can't send you a photo like this, then it's likely they are not the person they say they are. Now, today we covered a lot of information about scams and talked about strategies you can use to keep your personal information safe. The goal of this workshop is not to make you afraid of using the internet. Instead, the goal is to provide you with valuable information about scams. If you keep this information in mind as you use the internet, you'll be able to explore freely while keeping your money and personal information safe. Thank you for attending. I hope you will use what you learned today to keep yourself and your information safe online.